Have you ever gazed into your dog's eyes and felt a connection that runs deeper than words, as if they know you in ways you barely understand yourself? What if your dog isn't just a loyal friend but a spiritual sentinel, placed in your life for a purpose far beyond fetching a ball or curling up at your feet? Master Shi Heng, the revered Shaolin monk, spoke of such a bond, a prophecy about dogs that's unfolding in our world right now, whispering truths about their sacred role in our lives. Picture this, a quiet moment when your dog rests their head on your lap, their steady breathing calming your racing heart. Was that chance, or something more profound? Shi Heng, often called Master Yi, wasn't your typical sage. Born in Germany in 1983, he walked a path that blended ancient Shaolin wisdom with modern clarity. From a young age, Yi trained in the Shaolin temple, mastering not just martial arts but the art of seeing beyond the visible. His teachings, rooted in mindfulness and spiritual balance, resonate globally through his talks and retreats. In one of his lesser-known reflections, delivered during a quiet gathering in 2018, Master Yi shared a vision about dogs. It wasn't about their loyalty or playfulness but something far deeper, a divine assignment. He said, "Dogs are not mere companions, they are guardians of the soul, sent to guide us through the chaos of existence." Pause and let that sink in. Your dog, with their soulful eyes and gentle nudges, might be more than a pet. Master Yi believed dogs are woven into our lives by a higher force, entrusted with protecting our emotional and spiritual core. This wasn't a casual observation but a profound insight, shared as he sat cross-legged, his voice steady, his words carrying the weight of years spent in meditation. His prophecy aligns with what many of us feel intuitively, that our dogs seem to know us, sense our pain, and show up exactly when we need them most. Think back to the moment you met your dog. Maybe it was a chance encounter at a shelter, their eyes locking with yours through a cage. Or perhaps they bounded into your life unexpectedly, a gift from a friend or a stray who chose you. Did it feel random, or did something stir in your soul, a quiet knowing that this creature was meant for you? Master Yi's words challenge us to reconsider these moments. He suggested dogs are drawn to us not by accident but by design, their presence a deliberate thread in the tapestry of our lives. In today's world, where stress and disconnection gnaw at our spirits, this prophecy feels more urgent than ever. Dogs have become lifelines, therapy companions for the anxious, emotional anchors for veterans battling unseen scars, and quiet comforters for the lonely. Science backs this up. Studies show that a dog's presence lowers cortisol, steadies heart rates, and sparks joy-inducing oxytocin. But Master Yi saw beyond biology. He spoke of dogs as spiritual mirrors, reflecting our deepest truths and guiding us back to balance when we lose our way. As you sit with this idea, picture Master Yi in his temple, surrounded by the soft rustle of leaves, his words flowing like a gentle stream. He described dogs as beings who sense the unseen, our fears, our joys, our unspoken struggles. Their wagging tails and knowing glances aren't just instinct, they're acts of spiritual purpose, a silent vow to shield us from emotional storms. This prophecy isn't just a mystic's musings, it's a truth unfolding daily in homes, hospitals, and hearts worldwide. Your dog, lying quietly by your side, may be fulfilling a sacred mission right now, one Master Yi foresaw with startling clarity. Imagine your dog curled up beside you, their warmth seeping into your skin as the weight of a hard day begins to lift. What if that moment isn't just comfort but a sacred act, a deliberate gesture from a being tuned to the rhythm of your soul? Master Shi Heng, the Shaolin monk whose wisdom cuts through the noise of our modern world, saw dogs as far more than pets. In his 2018 reflection, he described them as spiritual sentinels, entrusted with a divine task, to guard our hearts and guide us through life's unseen battles. This prophecy, once a quiet whisper, is now a truth echoing in lives everywhere. Master Yi's teachings often circled back to balance, how we navigate the chaos of emotions, distractions, and fears. Dogs, he said, are not just witnesses to our struggles but active participants in our healing. Think about a time when life felt like it was unraveling. Maybe stress had you in its grip, or grief left you hollow. Did your dog seem to know? Perhaps they pressed closer, their head resting gently on your knee, or sat patiently by your side, their presence a silent anchor. Master Yi believed these aren't random acts but purposeful interventions, driven by a spiritual instinct to protect and restore. This idea takes root in the quiet moments we often overlook. Your dog's soft whine when you're anxious, their playful nudge when you're lost in thought, these are more than habits. According to Master Yi, dogs are attuned to the subtle shifts in our energy, sensing emotional turbulence before we even name it. He spoke of them as conduits of peace, absorbing our negativity and transforming it into calm. It's as if they carry an ancient wisdom, a knowing that transcends language, guiding us back to ourselves when the world pulls us apart. Consider the stories that breathe life into this prophecy. Take Emily, a single mother overwhelmed by the demands of work and parenting. She adopted Luna, a scruffy mutt, on a whim. But Luna seemed to sense Emily's breaking points. On nights when tears came, Luna would curl up close, her steady breathing a lifeline that eased Emily's panic. Or think of James, a firefighter haunted by the things he'd seen. His dog, Rusty, became his shadow, sensing his nightmares and waking him with gentle licks, pulling him back from the edge. These aren't just heartwarming tales, they're evidence of Master Yi's vision, dogs acting as spiritual guardians in real time. Science echoes this truth in its own way. Research from places like Stanford shows that dogs lower our stress hormones and boost serotonin, creating measurable calm. But Master Yi's prophecy goes deeper, suggesting dogs don't just soothe us biologically, they heal us spiritually. Their presence is a bridge between our fractured selves and the peace we crave. When they rest their head on your lap or meet your gaze with those soulful eyes, they're not just seeking attention. They're offering a shield, a quiet vow to protect your spirit from the chaos of the world. Master Yi's words, spoken in the stillness of a Shaolin retreat, feel like a call to notice these moments. He urged us to see dogs as partners in our spiritual journey, not just animals we feed and walk. Their loyalty isn't merely instinct, it's intention, a sacred commitment to stand by us. As you reflect on your own dog, think of the times they've seemed to understand you without a word. Those moments, Master Yi would say, are glimpses of their divine purpose, a purpose that's unfolding right now, in your home, in your heart, as they quietly guide you toward healing and wholeness. Have you ever noticed your dog watching you, their eyes holding a quiet wisdom that seems to pierce through your defenses? It's as if they see the parts of you that you hide from the world, offering comfort without judgment. Master Shi Heng, the Shaolin monk whose teachings blend ancient insight with modern relevance, spoke of dogs as more than companions, they're spiritual allies, woven into our lives to guide us through the storms of our inner world. His prophecy, shared in a 2018 talk, feels alive today, as dogs across the globe fulfill a sacred role, healing hearts and shielding souls. Master Yi's vision wasn't about grand gestures but the subtle, profound ways dogs touch our lives. He described them as beings who sense the invisible, our fears, our doubts, our unspoken pain. Picture a moment when your dog seemed to know you were struggling. Maybe they didn't bound over with a toy but instead sat quietly, their warmth a steady presence. He believed these moments are intentional, a dog's way of anchoring us when life's currents threaten to pull us under. Their presence, he said, is a divine gift, a reminder that we're never truly alone. Let's ground this in stories that echo Master Yi's words. Consider Aisha, a college student battling crippling anxiety. Her rescue dog, Milo, became her lifeline. During panic attacks, Milo would press his body against hers, his steady breathing guiding her back to calm. Aisha swears Milo knew her distress before she did, his gentle nudges interrupting spirals of fear. Or think of Liam, a widower drowning in grief. His dog, Bella, would curl up beside him on lonely nights, her quiet presence easing the ache of loss. These aren't just anecdotes, they're living proof of Yi's prophecy, dogs acting as spiritual guardians. Master Yi taught that dogs operate on a frequency we're only beginning to understand. They don't just react to our emotions, they absorb and transform them. When you're angry or overwhelmed, your dog might lean into you, their calm energy diffusing your tension. Yi saw this as a spiritual exchange, a dog's ability to take on our emotional weight and return it as peace. It's why, after a long day, petting your dog feels like a reset, not just for your body, but for your soul. Their touch, their gaze, their quiet loyalty, it's all part of their sacred work. Science lends weight to this idea. Studies, like those from the University of British Columbia, show that dogs reduce stress markers like cortisol while boosting feel-good hormones like dopamine. But Master Yi's prophecy pushes beyond biology, into the realm of the spirit. He believed dogs are drawn to us by a higher purpose, chosen to walk beside us at precise moments in our journey. That puppy you found shivering in the rain, or the shelter dog who wouldn't leave your side, he would say these were no accidents but divine appointments orchestrated to guide you toward healing. As you reflect on your own dog, consider the moments they've seemed to know you better than you know yourself. Maybe it's the way they linger when you're quiet, or how they nudge you when you're lost in thought. Master Yi's prophecy invites us to see these as acts of spiritual guardianship, not just affection. Your dog isn't just sharing your space, they're holding space for your soul, helping you navigate the chaos of life with a gentle, unwavering presence. In a world that often feels fragmented, they are a living reminder of connection, love, and purpose, fulfilling a role Master Yi saw with startling clarity. Have you ever felt your dog's presence like a quiet anchor, pulling you back from the edge of an emotional storm? Their soft gaze or gentle nudge seems to carry a wisdom that speaks directly to your soul. Master Shi Heng, the Shaolin monk whose teachings weave mindfulness with profound spiritual insight, saw dogs as more than loyal friends. In his 2018 prophecy, he called them divine guardians, beings sent to protect our spirits and guide us toward inner peace. This truth, once a quiet revelation, is now unfolding in countless lives, as dogs prove their sacred role in our world. Master Yi's philosophy often centered on presence, being fully in the moment, free from the clutter of modern life. He believed dogs embody this principle, living with a purity that we humans struggle to maintain. Think about your dog's ability to sense your mood. When you're overwhelmed, they don't demand explanations, they simply stay close, their steady breathing a reminder to slow down. He taught that dogs are spiritual teachers, showing us how to reconnect with the present moment. Their unconditional love, he said, is a mirror reflecting our own capacity for compassion and resilience. Let's anchor this in real stories that bring Master Yi's prophecy to life. Take Sarah, a nurse working grueling shifts during a global health crisis. Exhausted and emotionally drained, she found solace in her dog, Jasper. On her worst days, Jasper would rest his head on her lap, his calm presence easing her racing thoughts. Sarah noticed Jasper seemed to know when she was spiraling, offering comfort before she could even ask. Or consider Malik, a teenager struggling with social pressure. His dog, Luna, became his confidant, her playful energy lifting him out of isolation and reminding him of joy. These moments echo Yi's vision, dogs as spiritual protectors, intuitively guiding us through pain. Master Yi's prophecy suggests dogs don't just comfort us, they actively heal our spirits. He described them as conduits for divine energy, absorbing our emotional turmoil and transforming it into peace. When your dog presses against you during a tough moment, it's not just instinct, it's a deliberate act of balance, a spiritual intervention. He believed dogs are uniquely attuned to our inner worlds, sensing shifts in our energy that we might not even notice. Their quiet presence, their soulful eyes, their gentle touch, these are tools of healing, wielded with a purpose we're only beginning to grasp. This idea finds support in both science and experience. Research from institutions like Yale shows that interacting with dogs lowers anxiety and boosts oxytocin, fostering emotional stability. But Master Yi's insight goes further, framing these effects as part of a dog's sacred mission. He saw them as partners in our spiritual journey, placed in our lives to help us navigate the chaos of modern existence. That stray you couldn't resist, or the puppy who seemed to choose you, he would say these were moments of divine alignment, your dog stepping into your life exactly when you needed them most. As you think about your own dog, recall those times they've seemed to understand you without a word. Maybe they've lingered by your side during a sleepless night, or greeted you with a joy that cut through your sadness. Master Yi's prophecy asks us to see these as more than coincidence. They're acts of spiritual guardianship, moments when your dog is fulfilling a divine role. In a world that often feels heavy, they offer a lightness of being, a reminder that you are seen, loved, and supported. Their presence is a gift, a quiet testament to the truth Master Yi saw so clearly: dogs are here to heal our souls, guiding us gently back to ourselves. Have you ever felt a quiet shift in your heart when your dog rests their head against you, as if they're pulling you back from some unseen edge? It's not just comfort, it's a connection that feels ancient, almost sacred. Master Shi Heng, the Shaolin monk whose teachings bridged the physical and spiritual, spoke of dogs as divine emissaries, entrusted with guiding our souls through life's turbulence. In his 2018 prophecy, he described them as spiritual guardians, not just companions but beings with a purpose woven into the fabric of our existence. Today, this vision resonates louder than ever, as dogs everywhere prove their role as healers of the heart. Master Yi often taught that true wisdom lies in simplicity, and dogs, he believed, embody this truth. They don't complicate life with judgments or expectations, they simply are, offering love that asks for nothing in return. Picture a moment when your dog seemed to sense your inner chaos. Maybe you were wrestling with doubt or grief, and they sat close, their steady presence a silent balm. Yi saw these moments as profound acts of spiritual service, dogs stepping in to restore balance when we've lost our way. Their loyalty, he said, is a reflection of divine love, a reminder of what we're capable of giving and receiving. Let's ground this in stories that echo Master Yi's insight. Consider Elena, a teacher battling burnout. Her dog, Finn, became her refuge. On days when exhaustion left her hollow, Finn would nudge her hand, coaxing her to sit and breathe. His quiet insistence seemed to pull her back to herself, easing her stress in ways she couldn't explain. Or think of Carlos, a veteran haunted by memories of war. His dog, Sasha, would wake him from nightmares, her gentle licks grounding him in the present. These aren't just touching moments, they're glimpses of Yi's prophecy, dogs fulfilling a sacred role as protectors of our spirits. Master Yi believed dogs operate on a level beyond instinct, tuned to the subtle vibrations of our emotional and spiritual states. When you're anxious, they might lean into you, their warmth dissolving tension. When you're joyful, they mirror your energy, amplifying your light. Yi saw this as a divine exchange, dogs acting as conduits for healing energy. Their presence doesn't just soothe, it transforms, helping us navigate the emotional storms that modern life stirs up. In a world of constant noise, they offer a stillness that feels like a gift from something greater. Science supports this in part, showing that dogs lower stress hormones and boost endorphins, creating measurable calm. But Master Yi's prophecy reaches deeper, into the realm of the soul. He believed dogs are chosen for us, their arrival in our lives no accident but a deliberate act of divine timing. That dog you found wandering, or the one who wouldn't leave your side at the shelter, would say they were meant for you, sent to guide you through a specific chapter of your journey. Their role is to remind us of our own resilience, to show us that even in our darkest moments, we are never alone. Reflect on your own dog. Think of the times they've seemed to know you better than you know yourself, those quiet glances, those gentle nudges when you're lost in thought. Master Yi's prophecy invites us to see these as sacred acts, moments when your dog is guarding your soul, helping you find your way back to peace. They're not just pets, they're spiritual allies, walking beside you with a purpose that's both mysterious and profound. In their simplicity, they teach us to trust, to love, and to stay connected to the present, fulfilling a role Master Yi saw with piercing clarity. Have you ever felt your dog's presence as a quiet force, steadying you when the world feels like it's spinning out of control? Their gentle nudge or soulful gaze seems to carry a wisdom that transcends time, as if they're speaking to a part of you that's deeper than words. Master Shi Heng, the Shaolin monk whose teachings weave mindfulness with spiritual truth, saw dogs as divine guardians, not just companions but sacred partners in our journey. In his 2018 prophecy, he described them as being sent to guide us back to ourselves, healing our hearts and anchoring our spirits. This truth, once a whisper, now shines brightly in lives transformed by their presence. Master Yi taught that dogs are living lessons in presence, embodying a love so pure it cuts through the chaos of our modern world. They don't dwell on the past or fret about the future, they simply are, offering us a glimpse of what it means to live fully in the moment. Think of a time when your dog seemed to sense your unspoken struggles. Maybe they curled up beside you during a sleepless night, their warmth easing your restless mind. Believe these moments are no accident, they're acts of spiritual guidance, dogs fulfilling a divine mission to help us find peace. Consider the stories that bring this prophecy to life. Take Maya, a writer grappling with self-doubt. Her dog, Coda, became her muse, sitting patiently as she poured out her fears. When Maya felt lost, Coda's steady gaze seemed to say, "You are enough." Or think of Amir, a young man facing cultural dislocation. His dog, Zara, became his bridge to belonging, her joyful energy pulling him out of isolation. These stories aren't just heartwarming, they're proof of Yi's vision, dogs acting as spiritual anchors, guiding us through emotional storms with quiet grace. Master Yi's prophecy frames dogs as more than healers, they're teachers, showing us how to reconnect with our deepest selves. In a world where loneliness and anxiety are epidemic, dogs offer a remedy that's both simple and profound. They don't judge our flaws or demand we perform, they love us as we are, reminding us of our inherent worth. Yi saw this as a divine gift, a reflection of the unconditional love we're meant to embrace. When your dog rests their head on your knee or meets your eyes with knowing calm, they're not just comforting you, they're guiding you towards spiritual clarity. This resonates with science, too. Studies, like those from the University of California, show dogs reduce stress and foster emotional resilience, lowering anxiety and boosting oxytocin. But Master Yi's insight pushes beyond data, into the sacred. He believed dogs choose us, their presence a deliberate act of divine alignment. That moment when your dog entered your life, whether through a shelter, a friend, or a chance encounter, was no coincidence. Yi would say they were sent to you, a guardian for your soul at just the right time. As you reflect on your dog, notice the ways they've shaped your heart. The times they've lifted you from sadness, grounded you in chaos, or simply sat with you in silence. Master Yi would call these sacred acts moments when your dog is fulfilling their divine purpose. They're not just pets, they're spiritual companions, walking beside you to remind you that you're never alone. In their quiet wisdom, they teach us to love fiercely, live simply, and trust deeply. Master Yi saw this truth years ago, and now, through their boundless love, we see it too. Cherish your dog, for they are a gift, your guide, your guardian, your path back to peace.